honestly. The reason I got into business was because of this conversation I just about to have. I saw him at Blockbuster and I said, hey, Paul, how's the loan business doing? He's like, oh, it's great. It's great. I'm doing great. I'm going to make about 90 grand this month and things are good. And I'm like, what do you mean 90 grand? Like you're going to make like 90 grand this year? He's like, no, I'm going to make 90 grand this month. I'm like, I don't understand. Because my brain was like breaking in the inside because I know this guy. This is just like that scene from Wolf of Wall Street. It happened. In fact, it was almost copied from my real life story.
All righty, folks. Thank you for tuning into June the Realtor episode number 10. I got the Chuck LaFlair in the building. He's already got the celebrity name. Today's episode is definitely special, guys, because this is my 10th episode with June the Realtor podcast. It's awesome. I love talking to people. I enjoy interviewing people, getting to learn a lot about the guests that I have on. Chuck is no joke. Let me tell you, in the San Diego industry, when it comes to lending, you don't get too far without hearing the name Chuck LaFlair or All In Lending. He has done an amazing job with marketing his team.
Thank you.
He is probably hands down. I've never seen a team. What would you say, Chuck? Are you like the CEO of All In? Like what?
President.
So president of all. I've never seen a president that has as many LOs as this guy does and is still doing loans himself. This guy's a hustler at heart. And so I'm very excited to be talking to Chuck today. He's also a family man. He has a beautiful wife named Grace, right? We're going to talk about his children. One of his sons is a football player.
Yep.
And so Chuck, nonetheless, man, thank you for hopping on my show today. I am very grateful to have you on.
All right.
All right. Now, with that being said, one of the first things that I want to talk to you about is family. So by jumping into that, I kind of want the audience to know a little bit about who you are. Tell me who you are, where you're from, what you represent.
So I'm originally from Nyack, New York, born December 6, 1977, right? It's in Rockland County, New York, right outside New York City. When I was about 7 years old, we moved up to a town called Washingtonville. Very, very small upstate New York town. It really only made maybe like another halfway up the freeway. We don't really have freeways. That would be the thruway, actually. Technically, it was the Palisades Parkway, to be honest with you. But a really small town. If you've ever seen Back to the Future, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. It was like Hill Valley, California. Very, very small. Like you drive into the village of Washingtonville and you check a text and you realize you just drove out of the village of Washingtonville. That's how fast you can get through that. There's two things that Washingtonville is known for. It's pizza and soccer.
Pizza and soccer.
Pizza and soccer shops. That's the big thing in New York, apparently. A lot of soccer in upstate New York.
Really?
I didn't really play soccer except for summer soccer. But anyway, so I graduated in 1996. Went to college in New York out there, then transferred out here. Went to UCSD out here, and then so I went to school out here, and just finished up there. And when I finished, I was going to go into law school, and the plan was to do that. I took a break, and then I actually got into sales. I'll be honest with you, this was like probably 1999, I want to say. No, 99 is when I moved to California, so it was about a year later. Right, because I had done so many prerequisite classes, I didn't have much to do at UCSD. So I was there, and I took a break. And I needed to get a job because I actually was working 2 jobs during that time. But I needed to get another job because I was honestly running out of money, Oh
my goodness.
So I ended up working at Outback Steakhouse, right? Which was great. And that would honestly be probably where I started to reinforce speaking Spanish because I was working in the kitchen. Awesome. Yeah, Outback Steakhouse in El Cajon. It was crazy.
Oh, is that the one off of Hamashaw?
The one off of Hamashaw.
Wow, yep. That's funny.
That place had like 2-hour waits every night. It was like so much work. I was doing salads. I was doing fry. I became a server there.
What year was this again?
Oh, this is 1999, year 2000. Oh,
wow.
Yep, okay. Year 2000. So moving out, it was tough for my parents for me to leave, I'm an only child except for my half brother, right? According to my mother, right? My parents are older. They're about 86 years old right now. So they still live together. Aww. They're still, married, live in Washington, New York, arguing with each other every day. It's great. My father's from upstate New York. He's his family is half Canadian. So that's where the LaFlair comes from. And my mother is Italian. So, cause my grandmother was from Sicily actually. So half Italian, half Canadian. Growing up in New York, you know what I mean? Honestly, we grew up with a lot of Italians. The funny thing is, there's no white people in New York, right?
Yeah.
You're Irish or you're Italian,
One or the other.
or German or something. It's differentiated, right? It's not just like, oh, you're white, like out here, right? Anyway, so that was Washingtonville. A lot of people who grew up in the city lived there. So I had a very well diverse people growing up around them. Basketball was big. Did a lot of that growing up, playing a lot of, outside basketball. That was huge. Anyway, so coming to California was quite a shock for me.
Oh, I bet.
Man, it was different. It was tough. Honestly, I think I was naturally very sarcastic when I moved out here, and it was a little too much for some people,
Yeah, that New York sarcasm.
I was just being me, and I couldn't understand things. There was like I'd go to Subway, I'm like, give me a meatball parm, right? And they'd be like, do you want lettuce and tomato? I'll be like, no. Why would I want lettuce and tomato on my meatball parm? It's a meatball parm, no problem. Do you want mayonnaise and mustard? I'm like, why are you asking me that? I was kind of arguing with the guy at Subway. No bullshit, this is true. And then he started asking me all these other stuff. I'm like, I'm leaving. This is ridiculous, and I just couldn't understand stuff like that. I had a real tough time adjusting to California. It was weird. Honestly, it wasn't for I didn't even have one friend, literally, that I considered okay, I like this guy. I trust him. He's one of my guys in New York. Until I met a guy from Los Angeles named Danny Donovan, is one of my LOs right now, who I met.
Oh, no way.
Because at that time, I worked at Outback. And actually, it was interesting because one of the hostesses there, her name was Trudy, her boyfriend was the general manager of 24 Hour Fitness in El Cajon. This is the old El Cajon. Mm-hmm. His name was Brian Walker. And I would always bring him out just to go food, because I did everything at Outback. I was like takeaway, I was server, I was dishes, I was whatever, And every single time I would talk to him, he always like, what's up, little duck? When are you gonna come work for me? You know what I mean? That's kind of how he was. He kind of talked like Funkmaster Flex. It's just the way he spoke,
Yeah.
But he was being very serious when he talked like that. But he was very, very confident and amazing sales guy, So I'll be honest with you.
And what was he doing again?
He was the general manager of El Cajon in 24 Hours.
Yeah.
And he was very good. One of the best salespeople I've ever met, So I remember there was one Friday or Thursday evening. So once you become a server at a restaurant and you want to go have a beer after, you really can't stay in the same restaurant. You got to go to a different restaurant. So when we worked at Outback, we'd have to go to Fridays, and everyone who worked at Fridays came to Outback, right? Just that's the way it was.
Well, Fridays was right down the road from there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right on the other side of Rancho San Diego. Yep.
It seems like a million years ago, because I don't drink at all anymore. So
for those of you that don't know, in Rancho San Diego, that Fridays is now is where Cane's is.
Oh, really?
Cane's there.
Interesting.
They built over.
Yeah. So I'm on the patio drinking my beer. I think it was like a Hefeweizen with an orange in it or something. I don't drink anymore, so it's like. Anyway, so I see this guy, and he's in this purple jumpsuit. I'm like, hey, so I'm Chuck. He's like, oh, I'm Nathan. I'm like, what do you do? I'm like, I work at 24 Hour Fitness. I'm like, oh, you're a trainer? He's like, no, I'm a sales guy. I'm like, oh, really? That's cool. How much money do you make? And,
I love that.
I'm thinking about it. It's like, how imprudent was that? That's like to say, just to straight up ask. I was young and didn't know any better. And I'd ask. He's like, oh, I made like $7,000 this month. And I was like, how? Why? Like, why did you make $7,000? It was all commission, and I was like, you can make $7,000 in 1 month? That's amazing. Wow. And I don't know, I couldn't believe it. So the next day I literally got in my car, and I had this 93 Jeep Wrangler with no doors. I literally drove it across the country to get to California. Anyway, so I drove over to El Cajon. I talked to Brian. I said, Brian, how much money do you make? He's like, I can make 10, 14 grand a month as a GM. Ooh. And I was like, wow. That's so much money, because I'm making like $2,000 a month. I was barely making rent. Me and my cat, literally, it was just rent was only like $600. Literally, my cat Tecklenburg.
That was his name,
Tecklenburg. Yeah, named after my best friend from high school. God rest his soul. He was our quarterback. I've known him since second grade. Anyways, so I'm like, all right, Brian, I want to do this. How do I do what you're doing? He's like, but I want to do this. I want to become a sales counselor. I want to do this. I immediately decided to shift careers. I didn't want to go back to college, honestly, because I knew I could make money doing this, and I was so tired of college.
Right.
I was just so done with it. I got tired of people asking me questions. Now here I'm in a business where people are always asking me questions. And I have 94 loan officers. They're always asking me questions, right? So it's good questions. Anyways, he's like, I want to do this, but I don't want to work at this one. I want to go to the Santee one, right? Because that one has a basketball court.
Navajo. Was it always?
No, it was the one where the 125 freeway is now. It's not there anymore. It was off of Mission Gorge Road in Mass or something like that.
Okay.
I think it was off. Mission Gorge. I think it was.
Mission Gorge.
So I worked. I was joining there. I joined there, and then I joined the team there, and that was like basically a draw versus commission job, right? So your hourly needed to basically be less than what your commission you earned, and if you did, you broke your draw, which was good. If you didn't break your draw, and you can only work there. And if you weren't breaking your draw, that means you're not profitable, so they would let you go. So my first month, I barely missed breaking my draw, but the next month I did. Now, I mean, I still only made like $2K, but now I'm like making $2K at Outback and $2K there, so I'm working all the time.
Yeah.
It was fine. I was young, single guy working at a gym and working at a restaurant. I had nothing else to do but work, And then they started printing out this PPR report. It was a list of all the top sales counselors in the area, and I kept seeing the assistant manager's name at the top all the time on top of the Grossmont 24-Hour Fitness, another gym that's not there anymore, right? And that guy was Danny Donovan, right? And I would always call him all the time. Hey, Danny, how do you sell some of your memberships? I mean, how do you do that? Because it was funny because Grossmont wasn't a sport club. It didn't have, it had a pool, but it didn't have a basketball court. I was like, how was it? How'd they get so many guests and close so many people, And then one day, a district manager walks in, this guy named Dave Dunlap. Dave Dunlap was like a Viking in his past life. I swear. 6'4" Viking. It was almost like he was built out of a cartoon character book. He was just enormous. He'd come and walk down and he's like, so I see you've been calling over to Grossmont a lot. I said, yeah. He's like, you calling to talk to Danny? I said, yeah. He's like, well, why are you calling over to Danny? I'm like, I just want to see how he's doing it. He's like, okay, cool. I like that. You want to go work at Grossmont? Because apparently, so he said, I'm going to send you over to Grossmont. And the reason why was because Danny told him, I kept calling and he said, who's this Chuck LaFlair kid over there? Who keeps asking all these questions, So they wanted me to bring him over there. So I went over there. And when I got there, it was like going into the lion's den. I met the best salespeople I've ever met in my life. Seriously.
To this day or?
To this day.
Wow.
If all these guys became loan officers, they would literally be $500 million producers, all of them, because they were so amazing and they could close anyone on anything. It was so crazy, these guys. I remember there was this one guy that worked there. His name was Doug Dees was his name. Doug Dees was like, it was weird. I'm not even sure if he had a social security number or even cashed any one of his checks ever. He would just show up and close people. It was the weirdest thing in the world. It was like, Doug actually signed me up at 24-Hour Fitness like months and months and months before when I joined. I came to California. Doug would literally hang out at the front desk. You'd walk up to the front desk. And I remember, this is a true story. I've heard this story a million times. It's true. So some girl walks up to the front desk because I want to buy this protein bar. He's like, excuse me, miss, what are you doing? She'd say, I want to buy this protein bar. Why do you want to buy the protein bar? Because I need protein. I just worked out. Like, Jimmy grabs the protein in that protein bar. She's like, I don't know. Come on back. And he would sit her back and take her back to the room, right? Like the closing room or whatever, and talk to her. And 30 minutes later, come back up with a credit card and say, run this for 36 sessions of personal training and a sup pack.
Oh,
just like that.
Whoa.
It's no bullshit. So then 3 days later, because you have like a 3-day right of rescission you have when you sign a gym membership, right? So the cooling off period or whatnot. So the girl comes back in with her mom. And she brings her mom for support so she can cancel and this and that. And she's like, hi, I want to cancel. I don't think I can do it. This and that. I'm not going to have time. It's like, yeah, no worries. Come on back. Mom, you come back too, right? Right? 20 minutes later. Sign mom up for a 3-year membership and a 36 session and upgrade this to a year of training for the daughter. No bullshit. Swear to God. So I'm around these guys.
No way.
So Brian actually at that point, who was the guy that got me in, moved over to that gym. He just became a counselor there. Doug Dees was in there. Danny Donovan was the assistant manager there. Welby Bowles was the general manager there, right? Welby Bowles got into real estate after that. His son just got drafted with the Kansas City Royals. It's so amazing to hear that.
Oh, wow.
His son, Grayson Bowles. I remember holding that kid. Now he's like 6'5", But those guys were amazing. And honestly, Welby became like the second mentor of my life. The first one was definitely my father. My father taught me not to be afraid of work. It's okay to work. Like he'd get a pile of dirt dropped off in the backyard. Like, here, I need you to go move that pile from this end of the yard to the other end, just to move it, just to get used to work.
Yeah.
He had me laying cinder blocks when I was 12 in our garage. Swear to God, no, he was just one of those guys. Didn't say much. Just he was just taught me that not be afraid to work.
Yeah.
Welby, on the other hand, taught me that, he said, Duckster, Apparently, I walk like a duck, so they'd call me Duckster, and then Chuck rhymes with duck, so that's why they called me Duckster Brown, Duck, all that stuff, nonstop, you know. Working there was borderline abusive. I'll be honest with you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of locker room talk. I'm sure a lot of like,
it was
the boys calling you out.
Oh my God.
Talking
the
shit.
Funny thing was that me and Danny actually got the same day off for the first time, because we were working like 29 days a month, 12 hours a day, if not more. That was just our culture, And we managed to get the same day off one day on like a Wednesday or something like that. And it was, so we ended up driving with, hey, let's go check out the 24 Hour Fitness in 8th Street in Chula Vista. Let's go check it out. It's brand new, right? Cool, let's go. So I'd never been to Chula Vista.
Ooh.
So I'd never been to that east of Chula Vista anyway. Terre del Rey, never been there. So I went into the gym and like, oh my God, this thing is amazing.
What year was this?
This is now 2000.
Oh, so that's okay.
This is in 2000, I would say. So that gym was like in like the Immaculata. It was so
for
huge.
H, right?
Yeah, the 8th Street one across from Regal Cinemas. I'm not sure if Regal Cinemas is still there. $5 million facility, huge, man. And it was funny. We walk in and we're thinking the gym should be so busy, and no one was working. There was like no one working. Except the front desk chick wasn't there. We're just kind of walking around the gym. We're like, this is kind of weird. Like, this gym is so awesome. There's people waiting to go sign up. It's like 8 people waiting and no one's helping them. And we're just like, what is going on here? This is crazy. So we toured around the gym, best gym I'd ever seen up to that point in my life. I went back me and Danny both went back, and we told Welby, we told Dunlap, we told everyone what we experienced. And then that was like in January of 2001, I think. I think we're crossing into then. Or it may have been 2000, I'm not sure. So anyway, Dunlap, because our district was like the strongest district, Grossmont, Santee, Miramar, all those clubs were doing great. He got the district switched up so that we gave away Horton Plaza and we got Bonita. So now we're running Bonita. And actually, then February 1st, Welby ends up becoming the GM of that one. I become a counselor there. And Dave Morales, who's another closer, he ends up being the assistant manager. Danny got his own club, and now here we are. There's like 2 other counselors that were just happened to be there. They got rid of everyone else. So now I'm like February 1st, right? We're there. It's I think it was like a Saturday, kind of a slow day except for the morning. But then that Monday, no bullshit, 150 people came to sign up.
Whoa!
Every single day for 2 years. It was insane. I'm like I went on literally like 19 tours a day.
But what was the? It
was just a brand new gym.
Yeah. So people were going out for it
in East Chula Vista, and East Chula Vista is exploding right now.
Yeah,
there's tons of money. There's no full doc loans. Everyone's stated income, so everyone's just taking cash out to buy. Andy remembers literally just to buy. Literally, when I bought a house, all the same thing. So the gym was so crazy. And I remember my first Monday evening, and honestly, I didn't know what was going on. Because it was, the South Bay is South Bay.
Right.
A lot of Hispanics, a lot of Latinas running around, a lot of Filipinos running around, and I'm this young guy, no wife, no girlfriend, sitting at the front desk. I'm just like, what the hell is going on? I call my friend and, hey, check this out. Listen to what's going on. I'm in Chula Vista. Check it out on the map. Check it out. Check it on the Google. Look on the Google.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't.
On the Google?
I'm looking on the Google at the time, right? So anyways, give me like 6 months in, I moved to Chula Vista. I lived in Otay Ranch. I got my own apartment because my first month there, I went from making like $2,000 a month to $5,000 a month. Just doing the same thing I was doing.
I'm assuming at that point you had left Outback.
I was done with Outback at that point.
Okay.
When we moved to Bonita, then I swapped because I didn't need it anymore. And I let Outback go. I was just making $5,000-6,000 a month. And I'm like thinking, I am like 22 years old. That's a lot of money. And I just spent my weeks working, except like Thursday night. We were at like McGregor's in Mission Valley.
Okay.
Friday night we're at on Broadway. Saturday night we're at Tulum what's it called? Tongaloo in Mexico. It was just nonstop. It was just perfect single life. It was great, But I answered the bell though. Regardless of what time I crossed the border to come back, I was on my conference call at 8 a.m.
That's
I got
hilarious.
back to it. It was insane.
That's
seriously.
Hilarious.
But I learned how to work, and Welby taught me that if you work hard, you deserve to be compensated well for that.
Oh yeah.
You have to, and that was that self-worth. But he taught it with like an attitude almost. Like if you work your ass off, you deserve to be paid. Absolutely. The laws of the universe are against you not getting compensated,
Yeah.
So
that's funny. That kind of reminds me of Gabe a little bit. because Gabe is very much like, you need to value yourself.
Yeah.
Like you know, if you're out here hustling and grinding, you need to also value
100%.
yourself.
He works very, very hard.
Yeah.
So I get those texts with him super late and we're sending pre-approvals and offers.
Late at night. Yeah.
Yeah, he's on it. I'm on it too. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm there, right? I'm there at I'm at 24 Hour Fitness until probably 2003, right? I was closing on my first house.
Wow.
And
Off of working at 24 Hour
Yeah,
Fitness.
because at that point I got promoted. Actually, I got to be a GM,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and they gave me the El Cajon Club, the one that Brian worked at.
No way.
And it was cool. It was good. You know, my first month crushed it.
It's interesting. It's kind of like it went full circle a little
It did. And then the next month I didn't crush it, because as soon as you start crushing it, what do companies do? They raise your goals and your comp plan goes down. You're like, what the hell? That's some shit. Commission control, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did the best I could. Just kept going. Same work ethic, nonstop. Then take that forward. Probably now we're going into the fall of 2004, right? So when I worked at Bonita, granted I'm now at El Cajon. I didn't go to Bonita anymore. I didn't work out there. I would just work out at El Cajon. I was at a Blockbuster Video on the Sunday, and I bumped into a guy named Paul Pisty, right? Who actually a lot of people here know him, right? Great guy. I just saw him yesterday at Luna Grill in Carmel Valley, and I was telling him about some recent events, and you know, I saw him at Blockbuster, and I said, "Hey, Paul, how's the loan business doing?" You know, because I'll be honest with you, the reason why I got in the business is not the reason I'm still in the business. Honestly, the reason I got in the business was because of this conversation I just about to have. So I said, "How's the loan business?" He's like, "Oh, it's great. It's great. I'm doing great. I'm going to make about 90 grand this month, and things are good." You know, and I'm like, "What do you mean 90 grand? Like you're going to make like 90 grand this year?" He's like, "No, I'm going to make 90 grand this month." I'm like, I don't understand, because my brain was like breaking in the inside, because I know this guy. This is just like that scene from Wolf of Wall Street. It happened. In fact, it was almost copied from my real life story. When he said, "Show me your paycheck and I'll come work for you," right? It was kind of like that, because Paul was not one that lied, and he was not one that boasted, and he didn't exaggerate things. And he was just telling me with a real straight face, "This is what I'm making this month." And I was like, I couldn't comprehend. Because in my mind, the guy who made the most was like the president of our division. This guy named John Romeo. He made like 350, 400K. I'm like, there's no one's making any more than that.
Yeah.
I'm not a rock star. I don't play professional basketball. How can I make more than that? You know?
Right.
And he explained how. And I was like, whoa. So I got in the car. I told my wife at the time, I said, "Paul just told me he's going to make 90 grand this month, and he couldn't work at 24 Hour Fitness for one day." And I'm like, I'm in the wrong business. If he can do it, I 100% can do that. So in the back of my head,
I love that.
They moved me from El Cajon to Grossmont, and then from Grossmont to Stadium. And during that time, I knew I was not staying at 24 Hour Fitness. I knew I could do much more. I knew I could contribute more, and I knew I was capable of more than what I was doing.
That's fantastic.
So August 1st of 2005, I went to go work with Paul at American Home Mortgage. I got to wear a tie. They gave me a laptop. I thought that was really cool. I had my little loan officer uniform on, you know?
Yep.
No clients, no nothing. Didn't know anything. Nothing. And it was crazy because I had a lot of questions, and I don't think Paul knew what he was getting into, getting me to come with him, because I really wanted to know everything, you know?
Right.
But I also understood the value of connecting with people, because I'd learned that from 24 Hour Fitness. I'll be honest with you, 24 Hour Fitness was the greatest skill. Like, it was the best school for me ever to get ready to do what I do right now. Absolutely, in all ways possible.
It's funny because on that same note, not to cut you off, but like I find it interesting, like retail, certain sales, like it could be cell phone sales, could be anything really, but any retail sales that you do really preps you for what we do on a day to day.
100%.
And it builds kind of like, because you know when you do retail too, you kind of get tired of people. Yeah, you do. But for some reason, when we do what we do now, and this level of sales, it kind of preps you like, okay, because it's a little bit slower of a business. Yep. You know, you're not feeling bombarded or too overwhelmed with like back-to-back clients like that.
You're just used to it.
Yeah, you just get used to it. So
some of the best loan officers I know were in that. They were doing that. Some type of like AT&T, especially AT&T is a great producer of loan officers and realtors.
Oh yeah,
100%. Especially AT&T.
So for the audience that you guys can't see, I have a new agent, by the way, named Haley. And she's going to be joining my team. And so
work at AT&T too?
No, we were just having a conversation, and we were just saying that some of the best salespeople have come from verbatim AT&T.
Yep.
That's insane.
100%.
Yeah, retail sales, it kind of like Well, it's okay. So to circle it back, because you learn a lot of the key basics, but then when you take it into like real estate or like even lending, oh man,
it's a little different, right? So what I like about retail sales like AT&T, it's you're not afraid to talk to people you don't know right off the bat.
Yes.
So you can just grab someone, talk to them, and connect with them immediately. You got to be able to connect like this. I mean, I know some great loan officers like that. Christian Yanda, he used to be at AT&T. He's amazing. Seriously.
Oh yeah,
he's great. Christian Romero, now he used to work with me at 24 Hour Fitness. Another great sales guy. One of the best I know. You know, he's doing great. So I think the cool thing with 24 Hour Fitness is that you get to do two things. One, you're getting that quick tour thing when you're showing the gym around, which works really well when you're in open houses. You know, you're connecting with people you don't know, you know.
right.
But when you have to stop and kind of explain and kind of go over things, now at the gym, you're definitely trying to ask them questions that you can use later on against them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're circling the wagons, right?
Yeah.
But what I think is good about it is forces you to listen to what people are saying to help them make decisions. Not really selling them on anything. You're just learning to listen and to what's really important to them.
Right.
And I think that's important, and that's why it translates well into real estate, lending or real estate.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like, yeah, you got to learn. So in lending, one of the things I learned, you got to learn how to harp on the pain points, right?
Yeah.
So, like for example, with refinances, people would say, "Oh, well, you know, the debt I have, the debt is too much. It's this,
No,
you know." And
I know it's terrible. You're paying so much.
Paying so, you know, you're on your credit cards, you're paying 29.99%,
$3,900 a month right now,
just in
your mortgage and just your credit card.
Yeah, and what if I told you, you know, I could save you $1,400 a month.
This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna pay off all your debt. Right? You're going to skip 2 payments. You're going to get a refund to your inbound account, and you're going to save $19.
Yeah, especially when you hit them with the. Oh man, we're nerding out, guys. But especially when you can hit them with that impound account. It's like
people love the impound account.
The 2 months. We're going to skip the 2 months of payment. You're going to start saving $1,400 a month. You're going to get your impound back, which has $7,000 in it. So
yeah.
You know, in total, this next 2 months, you're probably going to make about $20,000 by doing this.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't want my loan balance to go up. No problem. This is what you do. You're going to make a payment next month, right? So what you do is instead of making that payment, you're going to hang on to the money. And then in the next month, you're not going to have a payment anyway. You can hang on to that. So when you make your first bill, you're going to get your impounds back, and you take that $20K and send it back in with the mortgage.
Yep.
Your balance is the same, and you're saving money. Win. Okay, let's do that.
Big W. Dude, I love that, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to take you away, but
that's normal.
So, all right. Well, so talk to me a little bit more about that. So you got your LO outfit on, your uniform. Yeah. Looking spiffy. You're hitting the world, right? And no clients yet.
You know what? Because American Home Mortgage was retail, and this was retail during a time when we had a lot of programs, right? But there was not much mentorship, you know, because I mean, I was only allowed to ask Paul like 5 questions a day. You know, and anything I didn't get answered, I got to go to the next day. You know, and they would just stack right up. God forbid I got a deal.
What's up with these, like, what's up with these celebrity names? You have Paul Pisty, Chuck LaFlair.
Yeah, I don't know.
What was the other guy? Davey Donovan? No.
Danny Donovan.
Danny Donovan.
Yep.
These are all like celebrity names.
Yep. So it was good. Now, Paul's wife was friends with a real estate agent, and her husband was a broker. And they got to hang out a lot. They did a lot of poker parties and stuff. And eventually, you know, he convinced Paul to come to the broker world. So Paul said, "Hey, we're going to the broker world." Right? I said, "Okay." So I spent a year and a half in retail, and that was good because at the time rates were fine. And I did learn a really good core of connecting with real estate agents and sitting down with them and finding out where I can help them, you know. And that was good. And I always stuck with that. So when I came to the broker world, all of a sudden, it was just, you know, more banks, more programs, more flexibility, and better interest rates. Now, and you got to remember, for the last, you know, probably 17 years or so, rates were pretty low. It wasn't until 21 that rates really started to go up. Mm-hmm. So I was in the broker world, so for basically all the way till 2021. And during that time, I did great. You know, I mean, honestly, Paul was a great mentor because he became the next mentor for me because he taught me that you can absolutely do a lot of volume if you want to. It's just a matter of choice. He's the first one that really got me into personal development. Big Tony Robbins guy.
I love that.
Overcoming stress and anxiety and how to create belief structures that can help you be successful. You know, so and at it was funny because when Paul in retail was doing like $40 million, that was like a big producer back then, $40 million, I think. And but in the broker world, he was like 100 plus. You know, and then I followed along with him. And I was doing about 100 million a year from 2000, I want to say 9, right? Because we moved into the broker world in 2007, 2009, pretty much on like for a whole decade, all like literally 100 million a year, like I brush my teeth, no problem. It was crazy.
Wow.
Now, let's be real. Rates were down. People wanted to refinance.
Values at a certain point were down too.
And we went through the whole market. I mean, sales prices were lower. It was different.
It's interesting because okay, so if you started 2009, obviously like the market was still like the values of homes were lower at that time.
Yeah, I mean the financial crisis was in 2008.
So you were doing so you could probably argue that doing 100 million in 2009 was probably more difficult than by the time you got to 2020.
Yeah, there's more loans.
Yeah, because you had to have pushed a lot of loans out in the beginning.
100%.
Were you at 2009? Okay, so let's fast forward. At what point were you developing your own team?
All right, so fast forward. So this is kind of what happened because this is where the shift made. Now, up until 2015, I would say that's when I started to make some changes, right? Doing great, making a ton of money. All that stuff was great. My son now, my kids were born now. They were 7 years old. My son, Carlo, he's like, Dad, I want to play football. And he was a young 7-year-old. He was super young because he was born on August 1st. He's like, Dad, I want to play football. I said, okay, cool. So I said, well, go sign you up for East Lake Panthers. I go to the parent meeting, right? And they're like, yeah, we need some coaches, Mr. LaFlair. Can you coach? And I'm like, no, I have like 30 loans in my pipeline. There's no way I'm going to have time to coach. Sorry. But then they started talking about concussions and things like that. I'm like, oh, I mean, my son means the world to me. You know, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to trust him with someone else. So maybe I'll just coach and let me see how it goes, you know? And honestly, I ended up loving that so much. I ended up coaching him from his 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 2020. 2020, we didn't have it because of COVID. So I coached him all those years.
Wow.
Now, during that time, I was going through kind of a transition because, like, did you ever see that show Entourage? You ever seen that movie?
Yeah, I've seen Entourage.
Remember the character Ari Gold?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
From like 2006 to literally then, I was like stressed all the time, like breaking phones, like throwing staplers and shit. It was just ridiculous. Because the market, everything was changing. There was so much change in the mortgage industry. Everything was changing every other minute. It was like from the 2010 GFE to the new GFE to this and that and da-da-da. Oh my God. I mean, it's funny because the area where we're in right now was literally where I was really cutting my teeth. I mean, my office was right there, you know, on the corner. But when I got to be 2015, 16, 17, I got really, really bored. You know, I was just like, is this everything? Is this all there is? Am I going to be doing this my whole life? Imagine doing that much volume and not having fun.
Yeah.
It sucked.
It absolutely, yeah.
I couldn't wait to like literally get out of work. At this point, we moved our office from here to Mission Valley. I would get out of work at like 1:30. I'm in my freaking jeans, out of my jeans or into my gym shorts. I would go to PB, I would train, and then I'd go pick up Carlo from St. John's and we go straight to football practice. I was there at like 7. And I was the best time. But the rest of the time was boring as shit. I'm like, this is no fun. And I realized I just wanted to hang out around football, around these kids. I had thought like, you know what? Maybe I could retire as a loan officer and just coach youth football for a career. And I looked into it, but turns out you can't coach youth football and make the same amount of money. So, and it was great. I mean, the thing is, you got to see these kids from the time they were little.
Oh, and watch them grow and develop.
To an undefeated season in 2017, all the way to Vegas to 14-0. It was crazy. We're playing teams from Northern California, American Canyon, and hitting them in the mouth and them telling us we've never been hit like that in our life. It was awesome to see these kids that we were coaching win. It was so cool, you know?
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, Carlo played center for most of those years. And then...
that's funny. I used to play center.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. He ended up... it was funny because he ended up starting to long snap, learning how to long snap at a young age, you know? And by the time he went into high school, because now at this time, let me actually, before I skip into that, now we're in 2019, and I really I needed to change. One of my coworkers, Steven Tavera, who's the loan father on Instagram, you know, guys know Steven. Steven's great.
Love Steven.
He's like, Chuck, I'm leaving. I'm going to go to another company. I'm like, where are you going to go? He said, I'm going to another company. I won't name the company. I'm going to go there. I'm like, okay, cool. Great. Why are you going there? It's like better rates and I'm bored. I'm like, I'm bored too. Let me send a loan over there and see how it goes. So I did. Sent a loan over there, VA loan, like for, $700,000. Cool. They closed it like in 10 days. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to go. I was making more money on that loan than I was there. It's gonna be a better comp. All that was good. I was tired of commuting to Mission Valley every single day. I was living in Del Mar at that time now. I'd moved up north to be near where he was gonna go to high school, or both of them were, because they're twins, And went to work there. My first year there, I wasn't really focused on production so much. I did have a good year. I closed like 70 mil. I was honestly just trying to get my divorce finished. It was like the longest thing ever. Oh my God. I think it's because she filed for the papers in Mercury retrograde or something like that. Anyways, took 4 years. Anyways. So,
oh my gosh, 4 years.
Yeah, it was wild.
What a nightmare.
And then when I finished that year, I found out I was like the number 2 producer in the whole company. I didn't even know.
Wow.
I was like, whoa, I didn't know that. So then I had this idea. I said, you know what? I want to do some more loans next year. Now that this is done, I can focus on work again, and let's go have some fun, right? So, Carla was at homeschool every single day. So was Giselle, because they were in COVID protocol and all that. So in December of 2024, I had got an idea. I'm like, you know what? Rates are low. I'm going to go ahead and buy some data. I bought the emails for every single veteran I could find, right? All California. 100-something thousand emails. So I sent a blast out, just explain the VA cash out program, see if anyone wants to refi. I said to myself, if I can get 2 loans from this, that'll be awesome. Great. So the next weekend, Grace and I decided we were going to go to Mexico, to vacation. We're going to go to Cancun. And we crossed CBX. We're at the Tijuana airport, right? Because when we were going to Mexico, we fly from TJ. It's easier.
Yeah.
And I'm in the airport and I have like 2 hours until my flight's going to take off. So I check my email and I have like 26 messages in spam. Oh. I'm like, oh shit. Why do I have spam messages? That's odd. I never have spam because I always empty it. And there was like 26 people who wanted estimates from the emails I sent them. I literally was like, oh my God, I got internet on the plane. I was just working the whole trip from there to Mexico City, and I literally got like 13 loans in one day.
Oh my gosh.
And
send me that campaign.
Yeah, I just was asking if they wanted to take cash out and drop their rate down to 2.75 because that's where rates were. And I was super excited about that. And it was wild. And I literally went on that year and ended up just starting to mail. I went back on mailers, started mailers all over California, and still no team. It was just me, right? And maybe one other junior LO who was taking calls, who did a really good job taking calls. He was great. And we closed like 635 loans. Yeah, that year. It was like
between you and the junior LO, or
between you and 4 processors.
4 processors?
Yeah. So it was wild.
Well, you had to have had a crazy system to push that many out. Yeah. Technically you're the face of it all.
Yeah. I mean, I think in my mind it took me back because I used to do mailers before, and doing them again, you have to put money into it. I mean, you got to be comfortable writing a check for $100,000 to get mailers out to make back 2.5 times that. So it's a little scary when you don't get the return.
Yeah. When you start dabbling. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. That's weird because I feel like when you start tossing around those numbers, the more familiar you get with those numbers,
you're just used to it.
Yeah, you get used to it. I talked to, for example, when I talk to Gabe, it's like the more familiar I get with realtors that are actually like killing it, crushing it, you start to realize that making $100,000 a month actually is not too far fetched. No, it's 2 really good, strong deals. It's
just having a great compensation plan. I mean, and realtors have great compensation plans, especially the company you're at,
Right.
And loan officers in the broker world typically have good compensation plans. So you can do it. You only need to close like 10 loans a month and you should be making $100,000. That's it. So end of that year happened, things really started to shift. It was crazy. So I'm having this conversation with my processor, who was a great processor, by the way. She was a stud. She's probably one of the hardest working processors I've ever met, but the meaning that she would work at 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. every night. That was her thing. She worked really hard. I said, hey, where do we see this going? Because you have 4 people working in your living room, every day. Maybe we should get an office, So we started looking for offices and we checked so many offices, and then we ended up liking one, right here off of Fenton on right next. It was actually in the Keller Williams building because there was a Keller Williams there.
Okay. Yeah.
So we opened up the office, and really it was going to be a processing center. That's what it was for. I did not intend to drive to Chula Vista every single day, but my first day working there, I'm like, this was cool. I came to work today because I love work. I love being around it, and it was fun, and we were there from October of 24 and then at that time there was a Keller Williams, a KW there, but it was closed because of COVID. I had no idea if it was going to open back up again or what the situation was. No idea. And when I finally got to meet them, it was because I had asked them, actually I asked the building manager, hey, who's the owner or who's the guy next door? He's like, oh, that's Max Zaker is his name.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah. Now I'm putting the pieces together a little bit.
So
Go ahead.
Oh, it's like, I'm like, well, can you ask him if it's okay if I change the carpet? Because the carpet was like this, like the color of like pizza kind of. It was really not nice. And there was all these weird random paintings in the hallway, all the way going down the bathroom. I'm like, I kind of want to paint this and put new carpet, you know? Like, well, why don't you call him? Because he asked about you. So I called and left a message, and it turned out he was on vacation. He was in Vallarta with his family. So he called me back. He's like, hey, this is Max Saker. You left me a message. And I'm like, yeah, this is Chuck. I'm your neighbor. I want to see if it'd be okay if I change the, carpet and whatnot. He's like, yeah, that's fine. Who are you? And what's the situation? I'm like, well, now this time the company we were with decided that it didn't want to be a broker anymore and it wanted to become a bank. Now rates were still fairly low. So I was like, okay, this could be cool.
Okay. Yeah.
This would be cool. Go back to the bank world. Maybe it's changed, maybe it'll be different. And
can you name the bank?
Yeah, it was Cornerstone.
Okay.
Great bank. Okay. Absolutely. Great company. Sean Cahan, one of the smartest loan officers I've ever met in my life. Like he reads like guidelines before bed. It's insane.
Really?
He's built an amazing platform. And honestly, it was fine, but rates were moving so quickly that, we didn't really see once we went over there that we weren't converting as much. I mean, we're in the South Bay. This is broker world,
Right.
So you have to have thin margins. And it wasn't their pricing was so far off. It is what it is. Banks are got heavy. They give a lot, but they cost a lot. It is what it is. So, nothing against Cornerstone, great company, wish I could have done more there. But what happened was, myself and my one of my director of HR and social media, Griselda, we made a really great connection with Max and Claudia. Claudia is Max's wife, and Mo Perez was their other partner. And
beasts. Yeah,
they had 150 agents working over there. And the funny thing was, they wanted us to kind of be their in-house, but we were really only converting at about 30% of their business.
Wow.
Because of pricing.
Right.
And it was during a time when rates were starting to go up. So brokers were winning in these markets, especially here. I mean, San Diego home prices are so high. And we ended up, really feeling we had a connection with them. And by the time I would say the fall of 22 came, now a couple of things had changed. All of that Keller Williams team had flipped over to Real brokerage at the time.
Oh, yeah.
They all became part of Real. And
that was a really short stint, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a year. And actually the reason why they flipped over that was because they actually first flipped over to 24/7 Realty. And then what happened was all of 24/7 Realty flipped over to Real. So, but now because they were their own team, it made more sense just to drop the 24/7 Realty and just be Real, right? And I told them, I said, you need to drop the name because I don't think people are aligning that much with big brokerages anymore, Something of a cloud-based brokerage is going to absolutely be something that's going to work better for agents because it pays them more and they get a cap. They pay a certain amount to a certain point and then they're at 100%.
Right.
Makes more sense.
It does.
Keeps more money in the agent's pocket and that's the future, right?
It is the future for sure.
Yeah. So then by around that time's happening, we're getting beat up. I mean, we still had bank pricing. We're losing deals. It was insane. I mean, I'd grown the team at that point because here's the thing. I realized that I didn't want to just be a loan officer. I wanted to grow a team. Because a lot of people are not really clear on what's the most things important to them. I mean, really, really the core. I'm very, very clear. Growth, communication, and connection. If it doesn't have to do with those three things, I'm really just not interested.
Yeah, it's funny. You mentioned that to me in our meeting.
I live by it, So I wanted to grow a team, and I did. I grew a team from like 13 LOs up to like 26 LOs, and I lost one by one to the broker world down to like 13 LOs. And when it got to be November of 22, I was actually kind of funny because I was speaking to this loan officer the other day. There was a company near here that was attached to CBW. They're a great mortgage company. They were doing a lot of volume. Great loan officers. In fact, every one of the loan officers that work for that company were amazing at being loan officers. Professional people, really, really smart. I really respected all of them because they had been in the business for a really long time. And I saw them one by one leaving and going to the broker world. And when one particular one left, I said to myself, all right, if she's leaving, I need to leave. I need to go back because I'd spent my whole career, all my successful years were in the broker world. It wasn't in banking, you know.
Right.
That's where I was able to help my agents the most, help my clients the most, and do the best, you know. And so I remember coming and talking to Max and Claudia, and I said, you know what? This banking thing just isn't working anymore. You know, now the funny thing, a little thing about Max and Claudia is they used to have a mortgage company. They were partnered on one.
Oh, no way.
A year before that. But they had to leave that partnership because it just weren't aligned. It wasn't the same, you know? And when they met me, it was just the opposite of what they were experiencing, you know, because I'm just me. I'm just kind of one of those guys, like if we're all on the playground, I'm going to be like, hey guys, let's play kickball. Come on, everyone, let's go all play. You too, let's go. You kid with the, you know, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. I'm the guy that knows everyone from every company. That's the way I've always have been.
That's so funny, man, because, you know, I'm very much like that, like myself. Like I don't know what it is. I build relationships with everybody. I do business with everybody. I'm just that kid that like, I kind of just get around like that. You know?
I mean, I think that's the way to be, right?
Well, it speaks to a lot of your own personal success with the team and everything. But continue. My apologies. I just
no, sorry. So anyway, so I came and like, this is not working. They said, well, Chuck, our partnership's with you. If you want to go to the broker world, we have 2 brokers here. Why don't we found our own company? So I had to make a really, really big decision. I went home and I told Grace, I said, okay, either I'm just going to go be a top loan officer myself and just roll with it, and keep doing the thing that I don't want to do, is just do that, or I'm going to build a team and grow and do a lot of transactions. Because the reality is, I don't do a lot of transactions because I need to do a lot of transactions. I do a lot of loans because I need to show everyone else what's possible.
Yeah.
That it is possible to do a lot.
I respect that. That's leading from the front. I think, you know, one thing that I appreciate about yourself, I appreciate about Gabe, and it's the fact that you are not only, you know, talking the talk, but you're walking the walk.
In this market.
Today, yeah.
That's the difference.
You know, it's interesting because things are starting to pick up, right? There's like a little bit of a uptick in tempo, but it's interesting though, because not everybody's popping off. There's still some, it's not everybody. It's just the ones that have been hustling for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, building their name, their brand.
100%. I mean, it's just work, right? So decided to, I said, okay, if I'm going to do this, I have certain conditions around which we're going to do it. I said, number 1, we have to be a broker. Number 1, we need to have transparency of pricing. The thing is, when you're a banker, you don't know why your rates are the way they are. You can't tell. You can't see how much money is coming in. And the bank can move their margin up and down or whatever, and worsen or raise the pricing, whatever, and you will never know.
Right.
You just know what's in front of you. But we have in the broker world where it's set up so the loan officer can see what's coming in. So they're clear. We want that. We want loan officers to know that this is all the money that there is that's coming in, and make sure that they're getting paid the most so we can have an aggressive comp plan for them. Because I'm thinking like a loan officer, right?
Right. What you would want.
But I'm also thinking like a business owner, because I'm like, okay, how am I going to get these guys into production? So I need to make it so we're covering all their expenses too. When I first talked to my partners about this, they're like, Chuck, how are we going to sustain this business if we're paying for all their expenses and we're giving such high comp? You know, I'm like, trust me, we'll get there. First year might be tough, but we're going to get there, right? Because you take a brand new loan officer who doesn't know anything, and all of a sudden they got to pay for credit reports, or charge the client. It's just, they're going to go slower. They're going to be chipping off their feet, you know?
Exactly.
I wanted really strong systems of training, really strong systems of support, which are 2 very different things. I wanted this to be a place where everyone was going to collaborate and really work. I wanted, you know, great tech. I wanted multiple states. We're in 30 states, you know. I wanted to basically have every single tool possible for loan officers to be successful, right? And that's what we built. And we started off with, it was funny, our first month in 23, we funded 8 loans. 8.
No way.
Oh my God, it was only 8. And then we grew from there.
Gosh.
We grew from there.
So how many, so 23, so let's do a quick synopsis. So like, so 23, you did 8.
8 in January.
8 in January. So what was your yearly looking like in 23?
We ended up closing like 303 deals.
Okay.
For about 200 million.
And then how many LOs did you have at that time?
30.
So, okay. Then we get into 2024.
$500 million, probably 80 loan officers, something like that.
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. And then now we're not even fully through 2025.
I think we're funding $85 million this month. 160 deals.
Wow.
Because there's been, every year around this time, there's a lot of migration. Everyone's thinking. Realtors are like, did I not really make what I wanted this year? I'm going to switch brokerages. Escrow officers are leaving. Loan officers are checking and moving. we had major migrations of people from retail over to the broker world. We've got some amazing people on this team from retail.
JB's one.
Oh yeah, he's in it already. I love it.
Yeah, I one thing you're gonna love him, dude.
Yeah.
He's just
I love him already.
Guy. Yeah, so he's like, dude, like, he's like, some of these other LOs, they're saying they did this, and this. I said, no, trust me. I said, you're about to walk in the door with pre-approvals come Monday morning. When I saw that. Chuck. Yeah, dude, he's already pushing them out.
Yep. I love it. I thought, you know what I loved about him yesterday? We had a training because we do sales training on Tuesdays. You know where he sat? Right in the front.
Did he?
Yes. On my right hand. I love it.
His nickname is the Eagle. We call him the Eagle.
The Eagle?
Yeah, I'll tell you why later, but we call him the Eagle.
Honestly, when I first spoke to him, I wasn't sure what it was going to be like because I talked to a lot of loan officers, but when I met him, I'm like, this kid's going to be awesome. He's going to be good. I know it. He's a dark horse. Watch, he's going to do great.
You know what's interesting? Yeah. No, it's so him and I are same level, like same caliber LO.
That's what I sensed. I sensed you and him.
Yeah, because we've both been to Maui together on President's Club trips.
Yep.
You know, closing 15 deals a month. Like, it's not uncommon. It wasn't uncommon for us to like. Our numbers were relatively similar. So like, I think if we were to average them out, we probably had close to the same amount of numbers.
The thing is that there's some LOs that are just want to be LOs and they want to close some loans and they're trying to figure it out. And some guys are just dogs.
Yes.
They just like, what am I selling? I'm selling timeshares. I will sell the most timeshares possible. What am I selling? I'm selling crayons to schools. I'm going to sell to every freaking school. I got the whole list of every school in Sweetwater Union High School District. That's how they are. I'm just going to go get it.
Yeah. And I'm glad to usher him into the broker world now. Yeah. Because working corporate sucks, man. Working corporate LO, being if you're working at like a Bank of America or a Chase, like shout out to you. I'm sure you get great health insurance and all that, but it just sucks being an LO there because like for example, when I became a realtor, I love the lifestyle, man. I really do. From top to bottom, I love the lifestyle. If I was a lender, if I had been doing this early in my career from 18 to 22 and a half before I switched when I was a lender and I embodied the lifestyle, holy shit, I'd be a multimillionaire by now.
100%.
I think with the amount of deals that I've pushed, I'd be probably a multimillionaire by now.
It's amazing. I love sitting down with top LOs. It's really interesting too, because there's, if you really want to gauge a top LO, you don't go off volume, you go off units.
Yes.
Units.
No, I know.
Not volume. California's not fair, dude. I mean, you close a loan for $900,000. I got an amazing loan officer in Whittier. She's great. But her average loan is $1 million. But she's in Whittier. You know, it's all in LA.
Right.
You know, I was looking at the NAREP top 250. The number one top 250 loan officer closed like 391 deals last year by herself.
Wow.
And the number two is like just below that. And it's all units. So you got to guide yourself by your units, not by your volume.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, because that's your controllable. You can control the amount of units. You can't really control the volume.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that back, actually. You can somewhat control the clients you attract.
You can.
But then again, like for me, when I was an LO, I was an absolute dog. I would work 80. I think the lowest loan that I did that passed AUS was $37,000 in... I think it was in Detroit, Michigan, or so, and then I had another one that was $42,000 in Alabama, Birmingham. So like yeah, you're right. You can't control the volume per se as much as you can control the units and how hard you work.
You have no control over what price your client decides. That's a preference.
That's so crazy.
But you have control over how many transactions.
You just took me back. I started thinking about that, right? Like, because the $42,000 is like a freaking car, dude. That's a car.
It's interesting, and it's funny because. Growing the team we have to what they're doing now, we're seeing some great growth from a lot of people, and we're really proud of them. And the ones that we love the most, who think they have a lot of upside, but they stay coachable. Because here's the thing, it's when you start making money as a loan officer, and you're making 30, 40 grand a month. That's like 40 grand is almost $500,000 if you make it every month. Right, it's like 480.
Yeah,
almost, right. There's a progression and a thought process that people need to kind of contain themselves a little bit. And it's great that they have mentorship to kind of bring them down a little bit.
Oh yeah.
You know? Because if you're the top guy and you start acting like an ass because you think you're the top, then and that will happen a lot.
Oh,
you can make money quickly. That's why there needs to be people that are producing higher and are a little bit more, take it easy, kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, take it easy. Talk to me when
well,
you're over 100.
it's because a lot of these guys, they don't know what it's like to touch real money. So like I'm kind of personally, I feel humbled that God put me in a position where I could make great money. I think I was 19, almost 20, and I had made $200,000 that year as a lender. So young. That was as a lender at a corporate bank, right? I did 76 or 78 units, somewhere in there, 78 units for, I think I pushed almost 17, it may have been more, almost $20 million.
Those units right now would put you right about on a top 250 and now rep. Right 88 deals. I was looking at it yesterday.
That's crazy.
I'm like, wow.
That's great. But that's what I'm saying, that like some of these guys have never touched money because in 2020, you could stick a monkey at a desk and it would have made money. Legit.
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
It really would have.
Sign spinner. Yeah. 2.25%, 30-year fix.
Yep.
Literally, you'll get calls.
You'll get calls. You would have been, you could have made so much money. So like, I think that's the thing is like now I've been talking to JB and I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, okay, look at the pre-approvals you got there. Each one of them is like a little token of like 5,000 to 10,000. Like think of it that way. And he's like, dude, I haven't touched money like that since like 2020 when I was.
For me now, it's been a lot more. One is trying to set the tone, set the pace, right? And my partners definitely want me to get out of production. I just feel like it's not time yet. Maybe in a couple of years. It's important for me to get top producers to become real top producers, and they become refined enough to understand and look at it like a business and understand the whole entire process. Because you got loan officers, they get a lot of loans, and all of a sudden, the more loans you have, the more problems you're gonna have in your file.
Correct.
And then and if you don't fully understand every aspect, you'll look at every problem like a fire instead of just an opportunity. Okay, well, here's what we can do, and we'll just do this, we'll just that. It's interesting how, and what my focus is working with all those Top Gun type LOs and getting them to the next level, whatever that is. But a lot of it is, making sure they understand every aspect of the business. A lot of loan officers think that, all right, I'm the loan officer, everyone else needs to do everything else. But I'm like, no, your title is loan officer. That means authority, which means you're in charge of the whole transaction, regardless of who's doing what.
Officer,
and don't get too big for your britches.
I'm going to second your partners, actually. I kind of second them because I think
second it as well.
Well,
just not right now.
No. Because the thing is, my mentality has always been like I used to. So I worked at this company called Veterans First Mortgage. You know it very well.
Yep.
I've talked to you about it several times. And for me, my goal since I started there was I've always been hungry. I've been a dog. I mean, I've wanted to have my own team so bad. Yeah. So bad. Because I know what the philanthropy I can create out of motivating people or just speaking to them and breathing life into them.
Yeah.
And so I always told myself, I said, if I ever had a team, I'm only going to be as strong as my lowest producing officer.
Right.
And ultimately I felt like, you know what, if I ever got into a position where I could lead, what I would do is I would pour my attention into everybody. Like touch and go, kind of like managing a pipeline where you're from CTC, where you're working the front end, in processing.
Yep.
I manage LOs like the way I would manage my files.
Well, step one started with this year with that, because it was very, very busy first part of this year. And I knew that there was a plan to get out of production, but I needed to grow the company more, grow the team. Throughout ROA, we're in contact with so many loan officers throughout the country, so it's great. It's amazing. I'm doing a training next week in Oregon on basically exactly what we're doing: how to make $100,000 a month as a loan officer consistently. We're doing a training on that up there, right? But I knew back in May, I was actually more like April. I'm thinking to myself, I need to find like a director of lending to help me run this place if we're going to get to the next level. Now, and I thought to myself though, whom am I going to find to give the keys to the Millennium Falcon to? Who am I going to find that knows as much as I know, who can motivate, can lead, who's firm, right? But is not in production. I think to myself, that's just a wish. That doesn't exist. How am I going to find someone that does know? I wasn't looking for like a manager,
Yeah. I
don't know a manager. I didn't want that. I wanted like someone who could actually run this thing, It was funny because I remember I was driving to work one day and I saw a picture of this guy I know, and I had actually met with him. He was a loan officer. His wife was a really successful loan officer, very, very well-liked loan officer in the market down here. And I saw a picture because they were in Paris. And I'm thinking to myself, Omar, it's got to be him. It is him. That's it. It's him. And I had not even talked to him ever. Like I talked to him one time about work, like 3 years ago. And then I talked to him about maybe 8 months before that, only because we were talking about high school basketball, because his kids play high school basketball. They're really good. I was trying to get him into Cathedral, because I'm always trying to get
Yeah, you're recruiting.
I'm constantly ever forever recruit to Cathedral. I don't care if it's girls volleyball. Doesn't matter. And then I messaged him and I said, hey man, I got an opportunity for you. This is only for you. It's not about you being a loan officer. It's not about your wife coming over, because she's a baller. She's an amazing loan officer. I want to see if you want to become, and it's not about doing $500 million in Chula Vista anymore. It's about doing something at a much larger level. Are you interested? He's like, well, I'm interested in hearing for sure. I'm like, great. I suggest you bring your wife with you, because this would be a major adjustment if it's you. So they come in and we met with them for like 3 hours.
Wow.
Just to see if there was an alignment. And by the end of that meeting, I said to myself, it has to be him. And my partners were like, well, if it's not him, we'll find someone else. I'm like, no, it has to be him. Because if it's not him, I'm not letting anyone in here. I'm going to be honest with you. I was very firm on it. So I met with him again on that Friday. And by the time the following Thursday came, we came to terms. And now here's Omar Tamina as our director of lending. And he is amazing. Absolutely. And it's right at the perfect time too, because we're growing so fast right now.
Yeah.
Like we were averaging about 110 loans a month. Now this month, like 160. We're going through some growing pains right now.
Well, that's partially why I bring that up, man, because you're going to have to step into that role. Like I'm who am I? I'm just June, I promise. But from an outside perspective, the market's already pushing you in that direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you ever need to step back in, you can. But I think right now is like pedal to the metal, recruit.
Yep.
Push, and then educate. Because I could see a steamrolling because how many LOs do you have right now this second?
95.
So you're about to crack the 100 marker. You should throw like a party for that, by the way.
I'm hoping to come back from Oregon be over 100.
So, and then keep in mind, as you continue to grow, like they always say, you can't grow without some poo-poo.
Yeah.
Right? So but at the same token, like I can kind of see it, Chuck. I think you're probably almost there. If not almost there, you're right there.
Working on it.
Yeah.
We're getting there. It's funny because I was talking to a loan officer the other day, the same loan officer that left and inspired me to leave. And we were having a conversation on Tuesday morning. We were talking because I just was like, hey, you're responsible for all this. You know that, right? Because you left and I decided to do this.
Yeah.
I said, if you want a bunch of avocados, you got to plant a bunch of avocado trees, but be ready, because if you plant too many trees, you're going to get a lot of avocados. You get more avocados than you know what to do with, or maybe the more than you're ready, Right. I mean, the funny thing is that we're really picky with our LOs, right? I mean, we're very, very clear on the values that we're looking for, because we know now, we know if someone doesn't actually basically fully embody for these 5 values I'm about to mention, they're not going to be successful. Something's going to slow them down. Number 1, they got to be coachable. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much volume you're doing. If you have no ability to learn and can't be coached, boom. There you go. You got to be coachable.
Sorry, I'm listening to you, but I just want her to listen to this.
Stay coachable. Number 2, you got to want to grow. If you don't want to grow, I can't make you grow. And this isn't the place for you if you don't want to grow, because you must. You must grow, right? You got to want to learn. Because in order to be coachable, you got to take the information. In order to grow, you have to learn more. The smartest loan officer is the most dangerous one. They know more, they can solve more problems. So you need to learn. You got to know everything. Don't tell me you only do FHA and VA. No. You need to do everything.
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 All of it.
I don't care what it is. You got to be able to speak to everything if you're going to what? Grow. You got to have an abundant mindset. I'm a very big energy guy. If you're not bringing good energy, if you're bringing stress, if you're doing all this stuff like that, this is not going to work, man. Sorry. You got to bring the very best of you to the team. Because if you don't, right, then you're just not going to grow, right? So you bring the best of you, and guess what's going to happen on the opposite side? You're going to get the best back.
Right.
If you bring the best of you, you're going to get the best. What you give, what you get.
Right.
And you got to be disciplined. Right. Now is the time. So you got to be coachable, want to learn, want to grow, have an abundant mindset, great attitude, and be disciplined. Because if you're those 5 things, you'll 100% grow.
Yes.
There's no cap on how much money you can make in real estate. You can make as much as you freaking want.
Yep.
You just got to get great at making relationships. And that's really what it's all about. So getting back to when I had to, make an agreement with my partners on how we're going to run this, it had to be run in a team environment. It has to be a team. Why did it have to be a team? It's funny because no, it needs to be a company. No, it has to be a team. We have to operate as a team. Yes, we will be a company and we'll have company rules and structure right and do everything right. But we have to operate as a team, because this is why. If the San Diego Chargers have a football game and they have practice on Wednesday, Do the players just choose if they want to go or not go? No. They all are at practice. And if they don't go to practice, they're fined.
Right.
Right? If they have meetings that start at 12, they better be there at 11:50. Otherwise, they're going to get fined. Right? They have to be, there's a team, right? A lot of energy and effort is going in to win a game.
Right.
Everyone's got to be all hands on deck, from the freaking janitors to the merchandising people to the coaches, the trainers and the kickers and the long snappers and the punters and everyone. It's a team, you know? And if someone just wants to be their own, do their own thing, this is not the place for you. There's a lot of amazing companies in the area that are great platform-based companies. And like my buddy owns one and another buddy owns another one, and they're great. Go work there and close or not close. Up to you. No problem. Not here. You have to be in production here, and we'll get you there.
And I love that. I love that about your company.
Yeah.
You know, I sat down, I talked to Colby yesterday.
Oh, I love Colby.
Yeah. No, I know. And so
he's like the epitome of every one of those values.
No, I know. He's such a nice, I did notice that. Of course. And as I'm sitting there, so he reached out to me. He's like, look, I'm going to be honest with you. We had a like real genuine raw conversation. I said, look, I want to work a reciprocal business. Yeah. If I am out here busting my ass to get leads, I expect you to do the same. Yeah. Whether now I told him I'm not expecting you to go one for one. Right. But I am expecting you to be hustling whenever you get a deal here and there, because we operate in a business setting. Yeah. And so, but it's funny because I could have that kind of conversation with him and him understand that. But there's certain LOs where you just can't have that conversation because they're like, well, I can't do that. I can't do. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. I was an LO once myself. Like I got down and dirty calling cold calls. Matter of fact, I did cold calls and got real estate deals out of it and funded those real estate deals. You can't sit there and fucking excuse my language, but you can't sit there and tell me that.
Don't tell me it's not possible.
No. And I just love those core values, because all those core values, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's real estate, whether you want to win a football championship, it doesn't matter. Those core values go into a team. And that is a successful team. And if you build a successful team, right, your people embody who you are. Yeah. Right. Like the coaches on those teams that win, like, you know, super. So for example, let's like take Andy Reid or Bill Belichick. Yeah. They conduct themselves as winners.
Absolutely.
There's no other way.
Big Belichick fan. Why? He was a New York Giant. He was a Giants coach. Him and Tom Coughlin together under Bill Parcells.
That's crazy. I didn't know Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin was the offensive coordinator. Bill was the defensive coordinator, and they worked under Bill Parcells and during both those Super Bowl championships. No, oh my God, I love that. I wish I could just be like Bill Parcells with everybody. That would be great.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. Well, I'm very curious to see. One thing that I love about having this conversation with you right now, and just in general. By the way, for people that don't know in the audience, the first day that I had met Chuck in person, I don't even know if you know this, but the first day I ever met Chuck in person was the grand opening of the hub. I was a newer agent, and I got a tap on my shoulder, and here comes Chucky out of nowhere, and he goes, "Hey, you're June." Yeah, I'm a nobody. At that time, I'm like, dude, I'm just a regular realtor. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even think I funded any loans yet, man. I was just showing up to the hub grand opening. And so
June the lender.
It was June the lender for a little while at one point.
I knew you because you were on Instagram. You were following me on Instagram and commenting and stuff, and you're liking stuff, you know?
Oh yeah. No,
it's good.
I'm like very grateful, but I want to tell you this because I want the audience to know too. Like, you're going to, it's already happening for you. And I tell Gabe this too. This is one of my goals, but I can see it happening for you a lot faster than Gabe and myself. But you're going to be going cross country all the time, and just get ready for that, because I think that is the lifestyle you're called to live.
100%.
And I to be honest with you, I'll catch up there with you one day. Yeah. But I know Gabe feels the same. We were just having a conversation about how our goals, like we want to be able to hop on a flight, go across the country, you know, one day pick up money for one of our businesses here, go back across, you know, moving around.
No, it's this month's like that. I'm in Vegas on Saturday until Tuesday. Then we're in Oregon. I'm back for a week, and then I'm in New York for a week. So we have a team out there I'm meeting with, and that was good. And then we're back, and then it's Thanksgiving. I'm back for that whole week, and then we'll see what other trips come up.
Well, I want you to know one thing from the bottom of my heart. I'm very grateful for you taking the time to sit down and talk, and even grab coffee with me and stuff, and like just coach me on some other things too. Like, it means a lot to me. Real quick, usually at the end of every podcast, I do like a quick speed round. So
let's go for it.
I'm going to buzz them off and then just hit me with them. Ready?
All right, yep.
Coffee or tea?
Tea. Iced.
I knew that already. Yep. We did coffee the other, we went to Starbucks the other day. He goes, tea. Nope. Only doing tea.
Yep.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning person.
Okay. You kind of answered this one, but first job you ever had?
Working at Joe's Video.
Oh, so is this like a Blockbuster type of ordeal?
Yeah, except it was Joe's Video in Washingtonville. Yeah. Yep, I was 12. Yep.
All right. Favorite guilty pleasure food?
Pizza.
Ooh, okay. Italian.
Yep.
One song you always have on repeat?
Oh, what are you going to do when you're not saving the world? By Hans Zimmer.
Ooh, that's a goodie.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer.
It's that or the entire Maverick soundtrack.
Ooh,
I kind of live
like the Top Gun?
Yeah, like I kind of live like I'm in a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm pretending like I'm in a movie.
Well,
So I have to have a soundtrack.
Don't you know you're Chuck LaFlair? Do you need me to remind you here?
I sometimes like, yeah.
So look, if you weren't in the real estate industry, what would you be doing?
Sports agent.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see you being like a
yeah.
What's Jordan's agent's name? The gosh, dude.
Drew Rosenhaus?
No, there's another guy. He I forget his name. Hold on, Andy's looking him up, huh? But okay, well, we'll get back to that. Celebrity you'd love to have lunch with?
Tom Cruise.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Top Gun.
Or actually, Harrison Ford would be amazing. I would just love to talk to Harrison Ford before he passes.
Tom Cruise is nuts though too, because like he really acts out his stunts.
Yeah,
insane.
He's wild.
What's something most people don't know about you?
I literally have to lock my pantry and our fridge because if I don't, it will be gone.
You're a snacker?
Everything will be gone. Yes, all of it.
So Divine, she's probably gonna. Divine's probably gonna get
5 years. I've been doing that. It's so annoying.
It's very interesting because I'm a sucker. I'm a whore for chips, cookies, Hostess, Twink, like all of it.
Oh man,
it's the best.
Thank God for Siete chips. They're multi-grain. No gluten.
Oh, that's right. That's his name. So David Falk is his name.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, David Falk. I could see you kind of like.
Yeah.
You would be a good one, man. A good sports agent.
I think so.
All right. And then if you could instantly master one skill, what would it be?
I'd want to be perfectly perfect in Spanish. Actually, Mo says I'm confident in Spanish. I think I'm fluent in Spanish. He says I'm confident in Spanish, but I want to be perfect in Spanish. That would be it.
Are you doing anything for that right now?
I mean, I speak a lot of Spanish. I have an entire playlist of reggaeton, and I speak Spanish as much as I can. I have a client at 5:30. It's completely Spanish speaking. So.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It's funny because my Spanish, I'm like 60% maybe.
I think I'm like 80.
Yeah. See, that's fire.
Honestly, it took me a while though. But it was in 2013 when I actually started listening to reggaeton. I think my subconscious could now understand the words now.
Yeah.
Like I could let someone just go off in Spanish for like 5 minutes. I'm just kind of listening to what they're saying. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, okay. And then I understand what they're saying. It's really weird.
That's interesting. Yeah, man. It's funny because I for the longest time, it took me a while to figure out the music because the music goes so fast and you're trying to catch it. I still know
what they're saying. No idea. But
well, when you slow it down, sometimes, there's words in Spanish that you can't even explain in English because it just sits so differently with your soul, you know?
Right. My wife says that I shouldn't listen to that music.
Yeah. Oh, reggaeton?
Yeah, see.
Oh, yeah, because it's booty bumping music for sure.
Yeah.
And one other thing we do towards the end of my podcast, I never know who's watching these things, right? And so I mean, my gauge is on my audience, but there could be somebody random on YouTube who watches this. And so one thing I do every single time that I do a podcast is I tell the audience, I say, hey, if you're out there, you're depressed, you're going through it, you feel sad, you're looking for a sign, here's your sign. If you need a friend, I am a friend. So is Chuck and my production crew. We are here to be here for you. So if you ever have any pain, any issues that you're going through, we are not too prideful to pick up the phone. If you want to contact me, you're more than welcome to contact me. You can DM me, you can message me in the comments below. I know same will go for Chuck, but this is a call for those that are in need of like a mental health like check and you feel like you're not doing okay. It's okay not to feel okay. Not every day is a W and you just got to get that through. But there are some days that are better than others. Yeah. And so I always do that at the end because you never know who watches these things, man.
100%. And actually just to tag onto that, this is the funny thing, right? Sometimes people ask Chuck, if you had to go back and tell your 10-year-old self or tell anyone else something you wish that you would have known then, your number one most important job, your only job is to feel good about what you want. You got to feel it though. Even if you don't have it, doesn't matter. If you're feeling down, you're not feeling good, this and that, you say, you know what? What would make me feel good? I feel great that that's already existing in my life and it's on its way. And in fact, I'm so happy that next week that's going to happen, even if doesn't seem like it would.
Right.
Because that's how you can align to it so it actually can come.
That's interesting. I love that you said that right now too, because there's a certain, the reason I do what I do, like I like podcasting, I talk to people, I get to learn about people. But I love real estate as a passion. It's my passion. I'm kind of like I'm not going to go into my full story, but like I love it because of what it's done for me personally, development wise. I'm an investor. I work both sides of the business. Yep. So I'm a big believer in it. And I will say it feels very, very rewarding when I can hand over keys to people. I know one thing that I'm working with Haley is I'm going to start building my own team, right? And there's just a certain, like today, there's been like a certain thing where you're pouring into people. Yep. And they're like a sponge. They're just taken to it. And it feels amazing. And so I say all that to say, like, the rewarding aspect of it, I could read right through. I know you love closing deals because of the reward that comes when you close the deal, but I could see it too also on the lender side of it, where you're getting these LOs and helping them.
Oh, it's so cool to see them do things.
Make money, dude.
Yeah, I get excited about that. I think this year we'll probably pay out close to $15 million. Wow. Something like that.
Who's your, you don't need to drop their name, but like they're the number one LO on your team right now. Are they at $1 million yet? Did they make $1 million, or are they on their way to making $1 million?
On their way.
Like, will they do it before year's end?
I think so. I was looking at it. If he gets right in gear, there's one that will be right there. He's been leading the team for the last like 8 quarters.
Oh, I think you mentioned him at the meeting the other. Okay, yeah, solid guy.
Yeah,
solid.
His office is right over here. He's amazing. He came over this about 2 years ago, so he's traveling right now. I think he's enjoying all his
hard work. I love it. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to June the Realtor episode number 10. We had the Chuck LaFlair. I can't wait to have you back on, brother. Thank you so much, man. Awesome. And God bless you, bro.
Thanks, man.